Happy day, girls. This class we are going to talk about concept of social problem. Why am I saying this as concept? Because as journalism students, we need to understand social problem as concept so that we can understand the problems better. In other words, if we need to understand the problems, we need to understand the society. We'll also be talking about what is media's role in alleviating the problem and also about solution journalism. So first, what is social problem? Generally, it is believed that this is a condition or a set of events that is considered undesirable by a group of people. Or this can also be a situation where majority of the people are affected by this. So how are we going to solve this? This can be solved only collectively because this has very injurious consequences. So before we talk about the characteristics of social problems, we can just talk about what are the types of social problems. So there are four major types from which these problems arise. One is economic. So we can talk about poverty or unemployment, which can come under this economics problem. Cultural, divorce, juvenile delinquency, and at this point I again want to tell you that there is a difference between an individual problem and a social problem. If an individual is not employed, then it is an individual problem. If in a society more than 30% of the individuals are not employed, then it is a social problem. So biological, again, any infectious diseases, food poisoning, if it is rampant in the society, then it is a social problem. Psychological, depression, if it is one student who is going through that, it's an individual problem. If the majority of the students in a society face this, then it is a social problem. So we need to understand the characteristics of social problems. So first, as I had told you earlier, this has injurious consequences. This affects a society very badly because it is a deviation from an ideal situation. Here we need to understand that ideal is so relative a term, but generally it is believed that it is a system which the society is approving of. So if the society does not approve of certain situations, then it is not ideal. Then we can also understand that all social problems have some basics of origin, and the origin is from the society. It has some pathological social conditions, and one more thing that we need to understand here is all social problems are interconnected. That is, if we talk about poverty, we can talk about unemployment. We can also talk about juvenile delinquency. All these problems are in a way connected, and if these problems have to be solved, it has to be solved only collectively. And it can occur in all societies, and this can be a part of in any of the societies. It can be present in any society, and it can occur in all societies. So as journalists, we face some problems, we see certain problems and we want to cover it, and we will have to reach out to sources. We need to understand that the problem that you think is very, very important. It's not that everybody will think in the same way. So we will have to meet multiple group of people who will have multiple opinions on the issues. So number one, you will have to meet a group of people who will show an attitude of unconcern, which means that if the problem does not affect me, then I am not bothered about it. So that is one group of people. Another group of people we see in everyday's life, they put blame on the destiny. So everything they can say that it is because of the fate, because of destiny. So if a person faces some problem, they say that it is because of his previous karma or whatever, destiny. So that is another group of people. And third is vested interest. I either support certain problem or I oppose certain things. Why do I do it? Because I get something out of it. So this is vested interest. And the absence of expert knowledge. There is a problem that is there prevalent in the society, and you don't find any solution for this because one of the reasons might be there is no expert knowledge. So now we come to the most important point. What is media's role in it? So what should media do in order to either eradicate the problem or at least alleviate the problem. So, there are multiple ways in which we can do it. One is that, how do we cover it? By repeated coverage of certain issues, we can make people understand the importance of these issues. There are various ways in which you can do it. One is that there are multiple organizations that do a lot of research on various issues and they come up with some data. And this data has to be given importance to. This data has to be given coverage. So one example here I have given you is this. This is a report which has come in India today. And it talks about a son of a celebrity who got in a substance abuse case in India. So this report says that nearly 14 years ago, United Nations warned about addiction among celebrities. And it also says that this can impact the followers of those celebrities. So this is a very, very important statement and this has to be given coverage. So the second issue is again about the drug abuse among adolescents, and it tells us the statistics. It has come in the Times of India in May 2023. It is a study done by the Think Change Forum. And if we give coverage to these issues, people will be informed about the state that the adolescents are in right now. And similarly, there is another story which talks about social media addiction, and it says that social media addiction is real and 40% of Indian parents admit their tween kids addicted to smartphones. Again, it's a report published by local circles. So as journalists, when we come across these reports, we need to give coverage so that we can educate public on this. And this is about writing features. And now we will be talking about another important segment in any newspaper, which is very important because it tells the readers the stance that the newspaper takes on particular issues. So each newspaper will have its own followers. So if the editorial talks about this issue, the readers will also understand the importance of this issue. So this has to be covered in editorial. So the examples that I have given is Tamil Nadu's case against NEET, the Hindu. The Hindu has come up with their opinion on this, and it is very, very important for the people because in terms of opinion makers, it is very, very important for the readers to know what Hindu has spoken about this. And eliminate the shame of India called honor killings. It is again, honor killing is again a social issue. Indian Express has spoken a lot about it in one of its editorials. So the third segment that we can come across in any newspaper is cartoons. So cartoon is very, very effective because in a cartoon, if some social issues is spoken about, the reach is really good. So here I have used two cartoons. One is about the corruption and another is about population control. And here there are four cartoons and it talks about two different issues. One is overdose of communication devices. Another is overdose of drugs. So we have come now to the final stage. We have understood what is a social problem. We have understood what is the role of media in alleviating the social problem. And we should also know that it is not enough that media just stops by talking about social problem. It also has to give solution. So solution journalism is very, very important. The solution journalism will have a few important aspects in it. Number one, it talks not only on the problems but also about the solutions, and the public response to these problems is also noteworthy. So when we come across certain problem, we just need to talk to people, find out if they have any solution for it. It's not that the solution that they give can be ultimate, but at least we can give the different aspects to the problem so that the problem can be solved in future. And they will look for response and the insight into the problem, the evidence that they have to support the solutions that the people come up with, and also the limitations that the people have while talking about the solutions to this problem. So to sum up, we understand that social problems originate from society. We also understand that it's a deviation from an ideal state and it can be done only through collective measures. And we saw a few types of social problems, and we understood the characteristics of social problems, and we also spoke about what is media's role in social problems and the importance of having solutions journalism. Thank you.